All right. So let's do this. How's your day so far, my friends?
Okay, going good. Very good.
Nice.
It's been a little interesting.
Nice. Nice. Hey, look, this is Leslie Brown, the one that we were talking the other day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here it is.
Mm.
Let's go.
Hmm.
And this looks like David, right?
Yep, yep.
All right. Volume up.
I pre-read this before the live, and I just kind of like had another awakening while I was reading this. Okay, so on the morning of April 12, 1953, this is Neville Goddard, my wife was awakened by the sound of a great voice of authority speaking within her and saying, "You must stop spending your thoughts, time, and money. Everything in life must be an investment. To spend is to waste, to squander, to lay out with no return. To invest is to lay out for a purpose from which a profit is expected. This revelation of my wife is about the importance of the moment." I remember, too, from the Awakened Imagination, when Neville was talking about his wife telling him this. See, but now, listen, it is about the transformation of the moment. This revelation of Neville Goddard's wife is about the importance of the present moment. It is about the transformation of the moment. So because you could only make changes and make decisions and become conscious of what decisions you're making when you're in the now, when you are present. All right, so it is only what is done now that counts. Like you can make a decision now to change your entire diet right now. Like you say, I'm going to make that decision. I'm going to stick with that. And if you can remain present most of the time, you can stick with that. But the moment you become unconscious, you just kind of slip back to those old concepts of self, the old concept of self that was unconscious and being controlled by the law of thought transmission. And then you go back to the old patterns because that desire dies. Your ability to make decisions and stick with them is about being in the now, being right now. And the more that you do this through repetition, the better you become at making decisions. Be like, I'm going to wake up at this time. I'm going to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to help this person today. I'm going to make a video today. I'm going to make 10 videos today or whatever it is. You're making decisions on what you're going to do. I'm going to start this business today. I'm going to open this thing today. I'm going to make this call today. I'm going to do this thing that I've been putting off for the last 6 months. I'm going to get it all done today. And you make that decision in the now. And that's what this all means. It's all an investment in the now. And you can't make proper decisions unless you're in the now and you're conscious. And this is why dopamine detox is so important. This is why getting away from drugs and alcohol is so important. This is why, like pornography, anything that is capturing your attention and making you unconscious. Like if you are not creating and you're only consuming all the time, you are unconscious. Like when you're consuming, you're unconscious. If it's entertainment, you're unconscious. Like it's leading you. And as we know, through repetition, the more you repeat something, the more it actualizes and is created into your concept or state of consciousness. So the more you consume content, the more you fall asleep. The more you are unconscious and the less you are able to make decisions in the present moment to change your life, to control your ability to change your life, to control your ability to visualize and have a vision of your future and fall asleep with that vision, because the only way that you can visualize correctly is when you're in the now and you're thinking from the event and your attention is not being distracted, by all this consuming that you've done, because it fills the mind up with all this pollution and weeds and beliefs and thoughts that don't originate from you, and they distract you from your vision. And when you lose sight of the vision, You lose sight of the desire, you lose sight of the decisions that you can make and the daily habits that you can create through your new concept of self. So it is only what is done now that counts. So whenever we assume the feeling of being what we want to be, we are investing in ourselves. Okay, we're investing in our future. And there's nothing better than to invest in ourselves, because when you invest in yourself, you're then a more powerful creator to help other people, because it's not about you. It's not about me. See, that's the way I look at it. When I'm creating, it's not about me. And I have to look at it that way. It's about you. It's about them. It's not about me. It's about them when I'm creating, because I am investing in myself. That way I can give to them. Otherwise, you can't give to them if you're no good. And my grandfather used to tell me that. He'd have a conversation with somebody for 2 minutes, you know, that he does, like a stranger or something. We're out doing something. He'll have a conversation with someone. He'll look over at me and be like, they're no good. Like, he'll just like instantly say that they're no good because they're not conscious. Like, if he's had a conversation with you, he could tell if you were any good or not. Because if you're not conscious and present in the moment, that means you can't make decisions for yourself. Someone else is controlling your decisions for you. You're not going to do the right things. You're not going to act appropriately because you're not conscious. And it's not your fault. It's just that you're not conscious and you're not awake to be able to make your own decisions. So remember that investing in yourself, this is what you're doing to give to them, to find your purpose, to feel fulfilled and growth. Because I feel that money doesn't really matter. Like, when it comes to happiness or feeling good, money really doesn't matter. It's about having a purpose every single day that is outside of yourself. Having a purpose for, you know, helping other people, helping them. And if you have something that you are passionate about, something that you have knowledge in, and you're actually helping, and you wake up in the morning and with that purpose, and you're growing through that purpose, that is true fulfillment. That is true happiness. And I believe that is what the simulation is designed for, and is what we should be striving for. I know that I manifest different things, but I do that because that's what initially attracted me to it. It was like winning the lottery, like manifesting a McLaren, manifesting a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, all these different things. That's what got me involved, because I was a selfish person. That's what led me to it. It's just wanting these material things for myself. But once I became conscious of doing the exercise, like I want to have all this stuff. I want to have money. So I'm really desirous to, you know, develop this faculty of my mind. So I start working. But once I opened up my mind, I became conscious. I became selfless. And that's really, you can kind of say it's like entrapment. Like, because my initial desire was material things, but by the time that I unlocked my true potential, it switched. Like, it switched. Then I saw the truth, and then I was awakened to the actual truth. But what drew me in was that, and that's why I try to draw as many people as I possibly can with money, with material things, because I know that they will experience the same thing that I have. Once they start unlocking their true potential, and they start chasing the material things, and they may get a few of them, and they may get all of them, but in that process, they're going to realize that it doesn't make them happy. What makes them happy is fulfillment and growth. And it's not about them. It's about everyone else. It's about who you're providing service and value to. That's where true happiness comes from. That's what makes me feel good at night, is being able to help other people. If I wasn't helping other people and I had all the money in the world, I would feel like garbage. I wouldn't feel good at all. I could have 10 Bugattis and live in the biggest mansion on the planet, in the most exotic island in the world. I wouldn't be happy. Without a purpose, without a purpose that you're passionate about, and without daily growth, it just doesn't exist. There's no happiness. And that's why I do that, because I'm trying to bring as many people as I possibly can with that excitement of material things, because that's the initial illusion, you know, that brings people to it, to unlock the God particle within them, to connect with I am and consciousness itself. And because that's what initially got me desirous into it. So that's from Neville Goddard's Awakened Imagination, Chapter 5. I'll stop rambling. Okay, so once you have full control of the direction of your attention, which is part of what happened to me pursuing material things. I was like, I want to have this stuff. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. So what happened with that intention was this. I found full control of the direction of my attention. And then I found present moment awareness. And then I'm like, okay, so now I can create anything I want, but this material stuff's not really doing it for me. So what else can I do? Purpose, vision, and providing value and service in a selfless way. It's not about me, it's about them. And that through that growth, that's where true happiness is attained. And I'll stop rambling, but okay, so let's go. And have present moment awareness, being able to imagine your desire becomes exponentially easier and more effective. Because and this is what the entire classroom is based on. We're actually we're going to be redoing the classroom very, very soon. We're putting together a new course, but it's about this. But the course now is based on this, but we're going to make it even better. Once you have full control of the direction of your attention and you have present moment awareness, being able to imagine your desire becomes exponentially easier and more effective. And this is why this is like the entire cornerstone or focal point of my teaching, is because I have experienced this. This is what I experienced. This is everything that I found within, manifestation. This is what it was. Getting full control of your attention and having present moment awareness makes manifestation easier and more effective and simple. And you will also determine this when it all comes in. And that's why the course is designed the way that it is. So you must imagine the wish fulfilled now. You must be present to it. You must imagine the wish fulfilled now. You must be present to it. It must be now. To think from the event, okay? So you have controlled direction of your attention throughout the day in order to not, okay, so let me start this over. You have controlled direction of your attention throughout the day in order to not manifest unwanted outcomes unconsciously, all right? Because if you're not conscious and you're not aware and you're not in the now, you don't know what's happening with your imagination. You don't know what your mind is doing. You're being controlled through the law of thought transmission, where thoughts will come to you when you're unconscious, and you will act on those unconscious thoughts, or through the law of thought transmission. You'll think that those thoughts originate from you, but you'll act upon them unless you're present, unless you're in the now. And then through the law of thought transmission, they no longer have control of you, because now you're a real person. You're a real person with thoughts that controls their own reality. So in order to accomplish this, you need to stay present. And so use the power of the moment to disengage with unwanted emotional states and choose the emotional states you do want to engage with consciously. So as you become more present, you'll start to realize that a lot of the decisions you've made in the past are not you anymore. And that's why I talk about when you truly know that you've changed your concept of yourself and you've shifted states of consciousness, you could simply look back to last month or last year and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Or who was that person? Like, you're an entirely different person now because of this. Disengaging with unwanted emotional states and choosing the emotional states you do want to engage with consciously. Because when you're unconscious, you're not like a real being or person. You're not able to make decisions. You're not able to be your true self, your highest self. And when you're conscious and when you're in the now, you are connected to your highest self, and you're able to listen to the voice of God within you. And you can make decisions, you can then act, and you can hear it now in your mind, through the visions. Because when you have your vision of the person that you want to be and where you want that person to be, your inner dialogue, or the voice of God, is speaking to you. Your inner dialogue begins to change. And when you're conscious, you can hear this inner dialogue telling you what to do. Like, it literally will start telling you what to do when you have two choices to make. Like, if you imagine yourself building this business and it's very successful and you're falling asleep with this, the voice of God, when you impress that with the subconscious mind, the voice of God, your inner dialogue, is going to tell you when you have two decisions to make, either one, eating Hot Pockets and watching Netflix, or making calls and, you know, working on copywriting and developing your brand, creating content, you know, whatever it is that's associated with building that business. If you have those two choices, it's a no-brainer. The voice of God's going to tell you, of course you do this one. It's going to be leading you there. And if you listen, it's going to tell you which way to go because you've envisioned that. Okay. And that's what you have to listen to. And a lot of it can be very, logical. Like, of course you make that decision, but when you're not conscious, you can't make decisions. You can't act outside of your current state of consciousness. If there's two choices to make and you're not conscious, you're going to make the one that was most repetitious to your previous state of consciousness. Whatever, the reps that you did in a certain area, that's what's going to be pushing you over in that direction when you're unconscious. When you become conscious, that's when you can deliberately make new decisions and change your world very quickly by acting outside of that state of consciousness. And then within your imagination, then it creates a new state. But it's a lot of variables with that. But I think you guys get the gist of that. All right, so I love this right here. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will run your life and you will call it fate. I love that. Absolutely love this. Now hear this. You got to hear this. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will run your life and you will call it. So this is like a breakdown of everything that I just said. Literally everything that I just said. When you're unconscious, an unconscious person does not run their own life. And they think that everything is just fate, like predestined fate. Like my life is just horrible. And that's just the way that it's supposed to be because my grandfather and his grandfather and my mother told me this and my brother did this. And, my mother was an alcoholic, so I got to be an alcoholic. And it's just fate. It's just predetermined fate. They can't change any of this stuff when they're unconscious because then they're, through the law of thought transmission, they're connected to their genetics at that point, like in the predestined genetics. Oops, someone's here. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I will be right back. I'm sorry. I got the people coming to repair. They didn't tell me they were coming right now. I'll be right back. Going to be here right now. All right. So everybody pretty much understands how this works. And I have an exercise that I want for everyone to do. So if you have, so if you have a pen and a piece of paper or somewhere you can write this down, I want you to I want you to say these to yourself out loud if you can. You don't have to say them out loud. You could say them internally if you don't want to say them out loud, but I prefer if you did say them out loud. They're right here. I want everyone to write these down or come back and write them down later or memorize them or do whatever you want. I'm going to repeat them right now. I want you to say these before you go to sleep at night. I love being so wealthy that I never have to worry about money. I love being able to be generous with my money. I love being able to buy anything that I want. I love being so rich that I can finally buy the things I have wanted for many, many years. I love having more money than I have ever dreamed of. I love being so attractive that I am always confident in how I look. I love having the attention of others on me. Whenever I walk around in a room, I love having the body of my dreams. I love that I am charismatic and make friends with everybody I meet. I love being complimented on my appearance everywhere I go. I love being more successful than I ever thought I would be. I love being prosperous. I love being the healthiest I've ever been. I love being the most energetic that I've ever been. I love that I'm living the life of my dreams. I love that I'm able to manifest instantly. I love that miracles happen to me all the time. I love that I can control my thoughts and create my own reality. So essentially, I want you to say this before you go to sleep at night, because that's really the moment that, well, that's the moment of inception. Like it's the most paramount time, the most important time to make a dramatic, radical psychological change within yourself. And I want to push everyone to do. I know you have other exercises that we're all doing, but this is not going to take you very long. I mean, I literally just said all these things, in like a minute. So this is going to take you 1 minute to say. I prefer that you say these things out loud. All right? I prefer that you say them out loud, but you could say them internally if there's other people around and you feel you have some fear and anxiety. But I also want to encourage you, even if you have people around and you have fear and anxiety about saying these things around them, that you do it anyways. Yeah, you can screenshot them. Yeah, there you go. And let me put it on the screen so you can see it. Let me get my picture out of the way. Let me see if I can get them all on there. Let's see. No, I can't. Let's see. All right, screenshot. And screenshot. Oh, my picture's in the way again. Here. There you go. Yay, they're fixing the screen porch. I went swimming last night and the mosquitoes were insane. I didn't even realize I was getting bit up till afterwards. And they're greedy little mosquitoes too. They don't just come and get a little bit of blood. They're like vampires. There was one that's sitting on me for must have been like 10 minutes. When it flew off me, it could barely fly. It was so heavy. Took so much blood. There's another glitch. Thank you for the reminders. All right, so let's go ahead and do some Q&A.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. If I do this, can you hear me? I'm using this new mic. Is it working? Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, no problem.
If I do this, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Why are you laughing, Sean? Sean is making fun of me. All right, my dear friends. So it was a good live, a really a good one. I have some questions prepared for this one. Um, Somebody wants to share something before we continue? Okay. let's move to the questions. I'm glad this was a short presentation because I got a bounce in a little bit because of C-Suite. There you go. Okay, is everybody able to see the document? Where is the meeting? Here's the meeting. All right. So, Krista,
Yes.
are you able to read the first one, please?
Okay. Investing versus spending thoughts. In today's reading, Never Swipe says, you must stop spending your thoughts, time, and money. Everything in life must be an investment. If spending is wasting your mental energy on things worth no return like drama or scrolling, what is one specific thought pattern you've been spending that you are making the discussion to invest in your future self right now?
Thank
So,
you. Oh, yeah, continue, please.
yeah. Spending mental energy on thoughts and things like this, and money. I'm okay, but it's I don't get the word for it. You need to stay a human being and have fun too. So so I will certainly also in the future think about even other things. As for example, going out to a restaurant, even though it might not be an investment. So what do others think?
Thank you. Thank you. Who else is, with this question, who else is thinking about that you're spending thoughts on something rather than investing, and now you want to invest your thoughts? Who else wants to share that? There you go, Rose.
So I've been having I don't want to use the word tough. That's not the word I want to say, but I've been having some experiences the last few weeks that are just kind of like making me feel, or like that I'm letting myself feel anxious about or overwhelmed about. And I just don't want to have those feelings anymore. So I want to take them and transmute them into an investment instead of a worry. So I don't know how much more I want to go into that, but there's a variety of things. A lot of it is like around, well, some of it's financial stuff, some of it's about love. And yeah, so it's kind of a mixture of what's going on. But I'll let Iffy go now.
Thank you, Rose. Iffy.
Thanks, Rose. I guess in terms of me, I realized since I started trying to control my thoughts, what I noticed is there's just some people I just don't want to be around. I just find being around them a bit heavy. I don't know if others experience this. And it's just the idea of being around them, going, and unfortunately, it's like people close to me, family members. It's just like, oh my God, I can't be, I like the idea of seeing them or the idea of going where they're going to be just seems so heavy. And yeah, that's what I've experienced. It's just like I can't do it anymore. And I've noticed that my confidence to even say this or do this, as David said in his video, you know, when you start investing your thoughts, you will look back a month ago and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I was this person. And I guess, you know, I look back at myself and I would never be able to say this a month ago, like, I just don't want to be around family. They're just some people I just don't want to be around. But I can understand when he said that and what he means by that. It's just like today is it 22nd? And from the 22nd today to the 6th when I started, it's just like I see myself then and I just feel like I can't believe I did this. I can't believe, you know, there's some things I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Evie.
you.
And yeah, I totally get it, and I think most of us get that point. Yeah, um, I, I'm not so sure in my side, if I'm actually right now wasting spending thoughts on something, because something happened. I told you that I was going to write a post, but I haven't done it because I've been I've been creating this new project. And yeah, I used um to have my mind around lack, and oh my God, I can do this. I'm not able. I'm not capable. So I think it's good to know what we're doing and then to decide on investing or thoughts or life or time or energy, even though if it's thoughts or like if he was saying, people around. Yeah, and yeah, I felt like I felt like that before. All right, Ify, could you read number 2, please?
Of course, let me just expand the screen. So number 2, the frequency of the wish fulfilled. David mentions that when you are in high frequency, all negative or low frequency obstacles that meet you in the simulation are automatically transformed for your benefit. For those of you facing a hurricane in your life right now, stress, health, or financial issues, can you see the essential wisdom behind it? How does changing your perspective from why is this happening to me to how is this for my benefit shift your current frequency?
Thank you. Sean, would you like to share something?
About this one or about the previous?
No. This one.
Um, it's it's just like keeping your mind in that high vibrational frequency, basically by changing whatever you think is bad into this is working out for me or this is building me up to deal with next thing. Um,
Yeah, so sorry to put you on the spot like that.
I've just been running around all morning, it feels like. So
All right. If somebody else wants to share, Terrence.
Yeah, how I see it, that if you're happy in a good vibe, a good vibration, or a good mood, then you're up. Then nothing can touch you. As you were saying, like if your vibration is up and you're happy, or I don't know, you just won the lottery, or something good has come into your life, then yeah, you're feeling good. Then nothing lower down can touch you. But then if you're in a lower mood, then you tend to attract people or situations that will come to your vibration that's on the same vibration. So if you're down, you're going to attract lower vibration things and situations. And if you're high up, if you're listening to some good music or you've had some good news, then you attract higher vibration things and the lower ones will pass you by. That's how I see it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Does Evie want to go first and then I'll go?
No, no, no. You go. You go first, please.
Okay. I have a little bit of a kind of a different opinion in some ways. And that is that, when these initial things, like what if, what we label as quote unquote negative things, for me, it's really important that I have to like feel those emotions. Like I have to go through those, or at least right now where I'm at in my stage of life. Because, it's normal for us to have those emotions. Like when my nephew passed away recently, of course I'm going to feel grief and I'm going to feel sadness. I know there's a deep knowing inside myself, though, that he's still a soul and that he's still here, just not on the physical plane. But where am I going with this? I guess feeling the negative emotion and then knowing, well, I can take that emotion and I can transmute it into something more useful for me, and also use this opportunity to bless others in my life that may not be in the spiritual awareness that I'm at currently. And that nothing that's wrong with that, it's just we're all at different levels. And how do I take those negative emotions and use them for good and transmute them is more of what I'm learning. And it's a skill, definitely. And it's something that comes in waves, just like grief does. Or, also, I don't know if any of y'all were here, but I was involved in like a catfishing thing with like someone. And so like I'm still dealing with like that loss of like a false love or whatever you want to call it, and like transmuting that, and like how can I transmute that in myself to like for forgiveness and self-love and self-care, and really looking at inside myself, like where do I need to have self-love instead of being angry with the other person, because that's like that would have been my old pattern. It would have been anger and also being very negative towards myself, instead of I'm taking those emotions and I'm using it for introspection. So anyways, that's all I have to say, I guess.
thank you. Evie.
Thanks, Rose, for that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, so from what I get from David, there are two parts. So for example, for like what Rose mentioned, I don't think for me, and well, I did lose someone, the father of my child, during COVID. And there's no way I could ever see that as a positive or, as a benefit. I just, there's no way I could see that as happening for my good. But I guess if it's something, I was listening to one of Neville's videos this morning where one of his friends, she was robbed. Her home was robbed, and then with the insurance money, she wanted to manifest money for her roof. So she was robbed, and then she had the money for the roof and for other stuff. Then I guess in that aspect, you understand, when it's something like physical, it's money or it's a job, then I could see that could be for my benefit. So I think in terms of what David's trying to say, from my perspective, it's half and half, 50-50. I could see things that are replaceable for my benefit, but when it comes to, someone close to you or human life, or, I don't know how you could see that for your benefit. Yeah, that's me.
Um, sorry, I didn't mean to take someone's spot. I didn't raise my hand. My bad. But what I wanted to say is I put it in the chat, but I watched a video with Lewis Howes and Myron Golden, and Myron lost his son when he was 20 years old. His son died in a car crash, and his perspective on it was just incredible. I can post the video in WhatsApp after, but he basically said that he felt love, like even though he had to watch his son die in front of him, he still felt love. And he said, how much love does God have to have for me to, basically do the same thing that, like, his godson died and he didn't stop it from happening, and that's how much he loved us. So there was like a whole thing. I might not be explaining it right, but it's worth listening to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krista.
Losing a person that had been important for you. I have lost so many people in the past few years, and I grieved and I thought of them for little time. But then I actually saw the positive side of it, because as everything you lose makes space for something new. And then when your frequency is higher, that everything is going easier. And when your frequency falls into your trousers, then everything is so difficult. But I do not know many negative emotions. I know the reason, like anger. When I'm angry, it's a short time, and then it's gone. And the only negative feeling I have is being afraid. And I'm working on it, and I think I'm doing quite well. So, oops, someone else.
Thank you all for sharing, and also the chat. I'm so sorry to hear that. I can't give you an answer regarding the benefit and then plus the loss. No, there are things that, yeah, I don't understand myself either. So, but I think at the end we will understand. And yeah, all right, my friends. I don't want to cut the motion, but I only have like 8 minutes. Who wants to read number 3, please?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Consciousness versus fate. The script highlights a powerful quote: until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will run your life, and you will call it fate. When we are unconscious, we fall back into old patterns and genetics. How has the practice of the present moment awareness helped you realize that your life isn't predestined fate, but a result of your inner dialogue and conscious decisions?
That's a good one. What do you think, Rose?
Well, I mean, I definitely have seen this in practice, that the more that I choose consciously throughout, well, not just like in meditation, but also throughout the day, to change my thought patterns or interrupt them and redirect it from, like I said, like a negative emotion to a more positive one, is like, how can I be a blessing? Or, like asking myself, how can I be a blessing in this situation, helps as well. And I've seen situations turn around and change literally in front of my eyes. So it does work. I don't,
You mean
so
without you doing? Excuse me, Rose. Without you
Mhm.
doing, it can change.
Without me using force, but using the power of the present moment, or using the power of my subconscious after I've retrained it.
Okay, thank
Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful said. All right. Who else wants to give some thoughts regarding number 3? All right. Well, I give my piece. Mm, I like that quote. Until the conscious becomes until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will run your life, and you will call it fate. And yeah, definitely. I think when I've been reactive, really reactive to the 3D, because okay, yeah, we're living a life, a this simulation and everything, and yeah, we have to react, we have to love, we have to live, we have to enjoy, we have to eat chocolates. The funny part regarding chocolates, I like chocolate a lot, so I normally consume chocolates daily because if not, I can lose my color. So, I'm just kidding. That's why I love chocolate. I'm pretty sure Rose and Sean and probably Chris that you don't need that much chocolate, right? But
I love chocolate, but I don't eat too much. I eat chocolate every day, but not too much.
not too much. Yeah, I can tell.
I like the dark chocolate.
But not that much, Sean. Not that much. All right. Well, so yeah, um, I think we have to balance. It has to be a balance in between. You enjoy the moment. You enjoy being here. I feel the love. I feel everything. But when bad emotions come, well, yeah, I'm with Rose in that because we have to be conscious. If I'm grieving, I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna ignore it because that's a negative. I don't know how you say it. Um, well, it's a psychological movement that we do to. Well, I don't know how to say it in English, but um, you have something bad going having you have something bad in your life and you don't want to pay attention to life, just like ignoring, not accepting it, and that's not also good because pain also teaches you something, and if you're feeling pain, grief, whoa, it's actually good because you're alive, it's actually good because you're alive, it's actually good because there's something for you to learn right there, there's some emotion, there's something to be grateful for. And sometimes those kind of feelings make you understand how better of a person you are because of what happened to you, because you were together with that person or that um, pet, or I don't know. So it's hard. Those kind of things are really hard. But if you move to another moment, if you stay for too long saying, "Oh my God, my life sucks. I don't have money. Oh my God," and then you are not able to see. "Well, I have allergies today." You're not able to see the big picture, and this is happening for something for your benefit. Then you can't grow. You can grow, and that happened to me. I was going to this wealth issue on my life. I was like, oh my God, why I cannot connect again to wealth? And then I realized that I was doing something that I like, but I was feeling stuck. I've been doing pet coaching training for the last, I don't know, 14 years. And yeah, I like it, but I wasn't feeling so I wasn't feeling that I was growing. I knew that I was able to give more, and I wasn't doing it, and I was feeling frustrated. And then that's why I was connecting to other emotions. So yeah, just for saying it in a short term. But well, anyway, I think this was a really good life, my friend. It was a really good one as always. And I don't know if somebody wants to share something before we we bounce.
I just want to say I'm thankful for this group because when I join, I may be feeling in a certain way, and then I feel better after we chat about it. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. And yeah, the community. And also, I think the community plus these study groups, we are here because of David at the end. We're here because of David. But for some reason, we are able to connect more and to understand better the laws with this study group. Well, that's how I feel it. That's how I'm feeling it. And I texted David, so I might have a call with him during the weekend. And I have some ideas to bring to the table. Let's see how they take it. Because I don't want to be like, oh, David, you should do this, because I'm not that kind of person. But I think I can bring some things to the table to us if David wants to partner or wants me to be a little bit closer to the community. I think we can do better things, because right now, I'm kind of holding myself because I don't want to seem like I want to do whatever I want in this community. But okay, my friends, thank you, Rohan, for your words, and nice having you here. And my friends, let's meet again tomorrow with David. He's probably going to have a new challenge. So let's see how this new challenge goes. My friends, take care. Thank you, love.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
thanks, Dave.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.